Hey guys, Chelsea here from Making Me and Snita, and today we're going to be showing you how to make a DIY concrete side table. All we needed was one bag of concrete for this. First, you just mix it up in a bucket and add water. We wanted the top of the concrete table to be about 3 inches tall, so we made a small mark on the inside of the bucket so we would know how far to pour. Then you just pour your mixed up concrete into the bucket until you get to that line. To get rid of any air bubbles in the concrete, you can simply just shake up the bucket and tap it a little bit on the floor. For the legs of our concrete table, we decided to use hairpin legs. We actually had these on another project that we weren't using anymore, so we simply removed the legs and we were able to reuse them on this. To make sure your table doesn't wobble, it's pretty important that your legs are evenly spaced out around the edge of the bucket, which you can see us measuring here. And then you also want to make sure that they are the same level as well. We did this by just measuring from the top of the bucket to the top of the leg before securing it in place, and we just clamped it in place while the concrete dried. After your legs are set, you want to let the concrete dry. We waited about 2 days before removing any clamps.
There you go, dude. One at a time. That's it. Squeeze real hard. Yeah. Yeah. Pull that out of there, Cal.
Can you get it?
Mommy, get it.
To remove the bucket, all you need to do is just flip it over, tap it gently with a rubber mallet. This helps separate the bucket from the concrete, and then you just gently pull up. This part was honestly a lot easier than we thought it was going to be. So the one downside to using the bucket, and something I anticipated because I could see this on the bottom of all the buckets, I actually looked at like 50 different buckets trying to find one that was absolutely flat, but all of the plastic is warped quite a bit. So you can see here when I run the level across that there's big gaps because it's wavy down here. So I am going to attempt to sand this as flat as possible. I'm using just an Orbital sander. And I'm going to start with 40 grit sandpaper and just work my way up. So here we go. So the problem we were running into on this outdoor table is that the surface on the top was not level because the bucket we used was a little bit warped. We tried sanding it with an Orbital sander. Then we sanded it with a belt sander, and what turns out is going to work the best is to grind it with a masonry grinding wheel. So I'll show you how that goes now. As you can see here, the grinder did the trick. It worked like a charm to get those high spots down. And then we used the belt sander after we were all done to get it nice and smooth. You can see that after grinding and sanding, it made a really fun design on the top of the table that we ended up loving. To seal the table, which you definitely need to do if you're going to be using it as a table so you don't have to worry about coasters and, like in our case, sticky toddler hands, we used Quikrete acrylic concrete cure and seal, and it worked great. I just used a foam brush to brush it on. Be sure to tape off the legs like I did there so the sealer doesn't get on any of the legs. I ended up doing 2 thin coats of the sealer, and I just tried to apply it as evenly as possible. Now it's my favorite part, it's time to decorate. I love how this little corner of our front porch turned out. We ended up getting some new outdoor chairs and pillows to style the space with, and it really just helped show off that amazing new concrete table. I think my favorite part of this project is how the top of the table turned out. We were totally surprised with what it looked like after we grinded and sanded it, and I think it's my favorite part now. Don't forget to push that like button and subscribe to our channels if you want to see more tutorials like this.